Okay, we're going on now to topic 7, which is various examples in multiplication. So as you look at these, again, you want to be careful of the signs. If the signs are alike, the answer will be positive. If they're not alike, unlike signs, the answer is going to be negative. And multiplying anything by 0, the answer is always 0. So here again for fractions the same. Negative times a negative gives you a positive. Now when you have a string of numbers, a good technique would be to look at what will your end sign be. Negative times negative, this will be a positive. And while we're here, we might review this. Now, when we raise a number to its power, that is its exponent, what is the base? Well, here the base is only a 4. So it'll be 4 squared is 16. Then we apply the negative. So this would be a negative 16. Now here, since the negative is included within a parenthesis that's squared, that is an even number, the answer will be positive. Okay, so I think we can just do these. 3 times 5 is 15. 2 times 16 is 32. Now notice we already have the signs, so we don't have to worry about the signs. And then here, can we cancel? Yes, this will cancel out nicely. So we're left with 1/7. And then for number 5, I'm assuming you're going to put it in your calculator, and you would get 9.02. Now we've done that one, and for number 7, 4 squared is 16. 7 squared is 49. Going on to number 8, they want to find a reciprocal. Now recall, a reciprocal is what we multiply a number by, and every number, if it's a whole number, has a 1 under it. Every number has a 1 under it. Is just to flip it over using the same sign. Now notice, negative times negative will make this a positive. And everything cancels out, and you have ones and ones. So multiplying a number by its reciprocal results in a positive 1. Here it will be, just flip it over, 12 over 5. And again, everything cancels out. Here the answer isn't 1. Here the answer is a negative 1/3, by the way. I just put that there. All right. Now here, we could set this up as a fraction if we're more comfortable with it. It's a negative 44 over 11. That is divided by 11. And this equals a negative 4. Now here our answer is going to be negative. We can take a 5 out of each of these. This gives us a 5 on top and a 3 on the bottom. And this is called an improper fraction. Normally, Math Labs accepts this. If you want to change it to a mixed number, you go 3 goes into 5 once, and you have 2 left over. And don't forget, it's still negative. Now here we have division of fractions, which we will convert to multiplication. But what will the sign of our answer be? Again, like signs, the answer is going to be positive. So we can forget about the sign. Now it's positive. We're going to convert this division to multiplication by taking the reciprocal. Here we can cancel. And we get then 5/6. Remember, we figured it was already going to be positive, so we don't have to worry about the signs. Now, anything divided by 0, we said was undefined. Okay. And now notice when you have 0 in a string of factors, this top becomes 0. So when we divide 0 by any real number other than 0, the answer is always 0. Notice the difference between 13 and 14. If 0 is in the numerator, then it's 0. If 0 is in the denominator, it's undefined. In doing number 15 and 16, we're going to follow our little helper here. See if I can write it for you again. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So, parentheses, grouping symbols, exponents, multiply, divide, add, subtract. Let's see how you do. Okay, looking these over, we have here negative times a negative will be a positive 28. Now we have to do this. This becomes a positive 23. Then we apply the negative, negative 23. Then this is a positive 9. Minus 10 is a negative 1. But the absolute value of negative 1 is 1. So we do our subtraction. We end up with 5 over 1. And that gives us a 5. Now, here we have to do this division, but we also have to do these exponents. So this is going to be a negative 4 raised to the third is a negative 64. And a negative 2 raised to the third is a negative 8, which is going to give us here a positive 8. Now, we're going to square a negative 5 gives us a positive 5 times a negative 3 gives us a negative 75. Add these two together and we get a negative 67. Again, we're going to carefully now put these values into these expressions and check them out. And we're going to read these over and see what we can end up with. I see we have a minute and a half. We may run a little bit over, but again, carefully putting these values, and again, using parentheses to help keep it clear. This becomes a positive 15, a negative 20, a negative 6. Add them up, you end up with a negative 11. Here we're squaring this, becomes a positive 9. We're squaring a negative, becomes a positive, but then it becomes a negative because of this, divided by 8. This becomes a negative 16, divided by 8, a negative 2. Here we have a series of steps that are going down, and every time it's by 6 inches. So 20 times negative 6, a negative 120 inches, or 12 feet lower. And then our last one, we're losing $3 in our stock each day for 5 days. 5 days, loss of $3, negative 15 is a negative $15 loss.